I know in the Hotline Bling, that can only mean one thing. Morning tea! Melanated. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Morning Tea. My name is Wahima, and this tea in this giant red solo cup is Gypsy Rose tea, as I mentioned in my favorites video, which I will plug right here somewhere. Go check it out. Okay, so some things to talk about. This wasn't so much of a hot topic week as last week. Y'all were mad at me. So let me just say that I made a mistake. I didn't watch Raven-Symoné's video. I just read an article or maybe two and was like, oh, this is what happened. But after further review, I realized that Raven claimed that if she were hiring, she wouldn't hire this person, that she would be discriminatory. So when I was saying I think that Raven-Symoné was right, I wasn't saying that I thought that she was right for discriminating. I think discriminating based on name is wrong and it sucks. However, I think it happens, so I think that people out there who have names that could possibly be discriminated against should be aware of it and should be aware of their options if they want that to be an option. If you don't want that to be an option for you, then that's fine. If you don't want to straighten your hair to be a newscaster, that is fine. You do you. I'm not in your position. I am not an HR person. I'm not in corporate America. I am an actor. I can have my name be anything and not be judged on it. I'm judged only on my looks and my body type. I just wanted to clarify that for you. I still stand behind what I said, but I do not agree with Raven-Symoné and what she said. I don't believe in discriminating for that. That is the end of my I didn't even want to even say that because I don't want to feel like I'm backtracking, but I did need to say that I don't agree with Raven and I didn't watch it. And so that's my fault for making comment on something that I hadn't done full research on. Hopefully in the morning tea that I'm going to say today, I have more information and I can speak better. So that is a lesson learned. All right, so first I want to talk about Star Wars. So Star Wars 7 is coming out, and if you guys know about Star Wars at all, you know that is a pretty big freaking deal for all the people who are super, super duper into Star Wars. I actually love Star Wars and Star Trek. I love fantasy. I love sci-fi. I love all of that. I love to escape because, you know, sometimes it's a little crowded in here, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so there is a group of angry Caucasian Anglo-Saxon males of the American variety who are upset, saying that, you know, they started a hashtag on Twitter saying boycott Star Wars 7 because it is promoting white genocide, because there are a large number of people of color in this movie, which is so crazy. It's funny because Audra McDonald tweeted, folks, let me get this straight. Wookiees, Ewoks, droids are fine, but a black person is a problem? Go home. You're drunk. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are at all interested in that news. I find that very interesting that there are people, and everyone's talking about like, oh, we have such a, oh, race is an issue in this country now, and because there's a black president. Like, maybe race is an issue in this country because of there being a black president to white people, but race has always been an issue in this country for other people. So I don't know what exactly that means. All right, so the next thing is, did you guys hear that UCLA had a Kanye West party? Or some students, I should say, not the whole entire school. Some students at UCLA had a Kanye West party, and some of those students who attended that decided that it would be okay to go to that party in blackface. So that happened in America still. I think it's just so interesting to me how people just don't get it. Like, it's like you say, you know, this hurts me, this is our history, and for them, it was so long ago that it shouldn't matter for us. Like, the whole idea about people wearing Native American costumes to Halloween, it's like, the Native American people still exist, and what happened to them in this country is nothing short of genocide, and they were here living their lives, and some immigrants came and killed them. So that's why America is scared of immigrants, right? Okay. So, Mr. Kardashian, Lamar Odom.
Don't do LL like that.
What?
Don't do Lamar Odom.
Okay, Lamar Odom
No Kardashian.
I apologize. Do you want to talk about Lamar Odom and like why?
Listen,
You don't have to come in the frame if you don't want
okay. My thing with this whole controversy, or not even controversy, but this sad series of events that happened with Lamar Odom, is that it's being so focused on the fact that, number one, he's like some type of reality star, which I guess I can understand from people's point of view who weren't Laker fans.
We are a Laker house. We are a Laker house, and because my parents and everyone's so Laker crazy, I'm not Laker crazy. I like ran in the opposite direction.
I am Laker crazy. So for me, I have personally never watched a full episode of The Kardashians.
Neither have I.
I have never seen Lamar Odom on the show. I've never seen him on the show. And so to me, Lamar Odom, when I saw Lamar Odom in the headlines, first thing I thought was like, oh my God, Lamar Odom, the former Laker NBA star. I didn't even think anything Kardashian until it's like reality star Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom is the 2-time NBA champion. He is the 1-time sixth man. He is everything basketball for when, he made such a contribution to the Lakers. And it was disheartening to like almost feel like he was being discredited because of his association. It seems as if they want to blame Khloe for, everything that went on with Lamar and the fact that he was at this Blue Bunny Ranch or whatever. And, everything that was going on. No, like as much as, people want to blame the Kardashians, like you can't blame them for a grown man down spiraling, and he made the choices that he made. And I think Lamar's been fighting these demons for a really long time. He was already getting caught up even in the NBA on like having the dirty tests when they had to do the drug test. So he's been fighting these demons for a while now, and just the fact that it seems like it was so focused on his association with the Kardashians as opposed to like this former NBA champion who spiraled down this path of destruction, obviously, and it all ends up, at this brothel. And him, being, unresponsive. I think it's just really saddening, and, it hurt my feelings. Lamar Odom was one of my favorite players. I cried when he got traded. After that, he just, was never the same.
I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for all those Lamar Odom fans as well. I mean, I never knew him as a basketball player. I mean, I knew he was a basketball player, but like, at the times that I paid attention to the Lakers, he wasn't a Laker. So, like, to me, it was like he was some D-list basketball player that everybody, like, he then married a Kardashian and, like...
No!
Okay, so I'm wrong. But, yeah, I mean, I really feel like positive energy and vibes and, out to him and his family. And actually, I heard that Khloe flew from wherever she was to be with him, and I think that's great. And his dad was pretty bad as far as drugs go. So it's really sad to see somebody falling into the cycle of family situations, and I'm sure there's a lot of pressure being the only person that's like super rich in his family and like getting traded and like what are you going to do after the NBA. I'm sure there's a lot that's going on. So prayers and positive vibes out to Lamar Odom. So I don't know if you guys have been watching Morning Tea for a while. You know that I've spoken about the situation in the Middle East, and right now there are refugees of Syria. Remember how I talked about there was a civil war happening in Syria, and well, maybe you don't, maybe you do. Let me just explain it to you. So there's a civil war. There's a 4-year civil war happening in Syria between the President Assad and his regime and the people. And then because of that civil war, ISIS was able to filter its way in and provide arms and support to the quote-unquote rebels, quote-unquote people. And a lot of innocent people were caught in between. And so neighboring countries of Lebanon and Jordan and Turkey, and Turkey the most, I believe, has been experiencing the brunt of the refugee crisis. I read reports that 11 million people in total over the entire 4 years have fled from Syria, and I've also read reports that 4 million people, it was only 4 million people, but so Turkey being the country that's taking a lot of people, and they're taking like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and now Britain has stepped in and said that they will take, I believe, 20,000 refugees by the year 2020. They're going to slowly bring them in, but it's going to cost the people of the UK about £23,000 a year per refugee, and only 10,000 per refugee if they're able to work. I mean, they're not all flying, you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are just walking, taking buses to certain places and getting on a boat and going, and these are like days and days journey. Like I read somewhere that it was like one person's journey was like 21 days of like just traveling to get to a place where they could settle. And the US has only taken in about 2,000 refugees, give or take. And that is like nothing. It's like 0.03% of the people, of the refugees the United States have taken in. And there has been outcry for the United States to step up and do more. But I think the United States is a little hesitant to do it. And I have a sneaky suspicion it's because of 9/11, and they're afraid to take in anyone who could be posing as a refugee and possibly be a terrorist. Which is, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. There are people out there who have legitimate concerns about terrorists. I personally have no like concerns about it. But I can understand somebody who was in New York City during 9/11 having legitimate concerns about it. I personally am more concerned about the police than terrorists, you know, from the Middle East. And we've heard political candidates talking about it and saying there needs to be something done, and there, you know, we need to help out. But the United States has been very lagging on helping out with the Syrian crisis, and it's sad because I have Syrian friends, you know, and they're posting about it and they're feeling the hurt, and I've known these people since, you know, for 10, 15 years, and it's really devastating to talk to them about a situation in which I don't even begin to know how to help, you know. And I feel like most Americans, those who would be open to helping, just don't know how to help either. And there's websites that you can donate money to, and there's things you can do. But I'm always skeptical to donate money to things because I always feel like someone's scamming and maybe it won't get to them. And, you know, what can we do as a whole? And we have issues that are happening here in the States that we are trying to deal with. And sometimes I'm very much like, let them deal with their problems and we need to deal with our problems. But in this case, I'm just like, you know, when you see the pictures of 4-year-olds walking around with like a t-shirt on and you're just like, oh, I can't, you know, because they're in camps, right? And when refugees leave countries and go to other countries, it's not like they just go there and like get jobs, you know, they're in refugee camps, and they're you know, they're going hungry, and there's disease, and there's crime, and they're bringing, you know, unsettledness and like, not confusion. They're, you know, with what's happening to them and the trauma that's happening to their homes, and they come into these other countries, and who knows if they speak the language or understand the culture, and they're trying to build, and they're trying to, you know, the government is trying to give them aid, and there's just a lot of chaos and ruckus and stress on all parties involved, you know. And so my heart and prayers go out to positive vibes, go out to the people of Syria and the refugees and anybody who may have family or connections over there. It's just, I hate to leave it on such a, like, you know, sad note, but that is it for Morning Tea. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want to add to this conversation, please go on ahead and do so down below. Oh, and Drake really wants to make it #1 on Billboard, so I don't know if you guys want to help Drake do that. With that Hotline Bling, and I win a Hotline Bling. That can only mean one thing. La la la. I don't even know what he's saying. Like, someone had to tell me what he was saying at work. And I was like, Hotline Bling? What does that mean? They're like, when the phone rings. I was like, when did that become a thing? Hotline Bling. These kids. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.